This MDX has the Type S badge on it, which is basically equivalent to like a Mercedes with the AMG badge or a BMW with an M badge. But does this car really deserve that iconic nameplate? Let's go for a drive and find out. The MDX is trying to move away from more entry-level luxury SUVs like the Infiniti QX60 and compete with more prestigious models like the X5 and Q7 for a lower price point. And they have successfully sold over 1 million MDXs over the past 4 generations, which is quite impressive. And the bulk of that sale will remain to be the 3.5 liter V6 standard powertrain, which is honestly a little bit bland. But for those who do have a fatter paycheck and want something more sporty and faster, you get this, the Acura MDX Type S. The regular 3.5 liter and the regular MDX is shared with siblings like the Pilot and the Ridgeline and the Odyssey. But for the Type S, you do get an Acura exclusive 3.0 liter V6 turbocharged, which is the same engine that you find in the TLX Type S. It makes 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. That's about 20 horsepower more than something like the Q7, but about 20 horsepower less than the base model X5 with the B58 engine. But let's put it into sport mode. You do get what they call dynamic mode. You have a normal, you have a sport, you have a snow, and you have a lift mode because you do have air suspensions in the Type S. But let's put it in Sport Plus. Let's come to a complete stop and do a launch control. Brake boost and 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, which is actually pretty impressive. It is quite quick actually, and it sounds pretty good too. It's about 1 second faster than the regular MDX, about the same speed as a Q7, but the new X5 40i is just a tad bit quicker to 60 miles per hour. And that car, moderately specced out, hovers at just about 3 to 6 grand more than an MDX Type S with the advanced package, well, depending on how you spec out your X5. The turbocharged V6 in here is more than enough power to zip around town, but it's actually not as fast as I thought it'd be for something with the Type S badge on it. It does sound pretty cool though. You do hear that turbo whoosh. Transmission's pretty quick. It is a 10-speed automatic in here. Downshifts are actually very quick, and upshifts aren't as quick as the downshifts. Ooh, around this corner. Yeah, this thing holds its ground though. It's one of the best handling 3-row SUVs on the market. With its clever torque vectoring super handling all-wheel drive, you can view in the dashboard. Just tap on the gas, you can see how power is sent to the outer wheel, and it really just glues you to the ground. All right, some tight corners coming up, just give it some gas, and the computer kind of figures it all out. You kind of drive it a little bit differently than you would with a normal car because you're going to utilize that power to keep you planted. I forgot to mention that when you do put it in Sport Plus mode, the car will actually lower a bit with that air ride. We're going to come around to the same corner again. It's a very familiar system. Super handling all-wheel drive has been out for a while, and it still impresses me every single time I drive an Acura with one. It just yaws the car around. You gotta make sure that you keep your foot on the gas to utilize that system. Steering though remains on the number side. It is a very light steering wheel. Like, I'm moving the wheel quite a bit right now. You don't get that much feedback from it. It feels very artificial, and it's just a little bit too light for me. I wish there was a bit more weight to it so you can kind of feel the ground more, but it's alright. The ride is planted though with the adaptive suspensions that you do get. Let's put it into comfort mode. The car will get a bit quieter. The gears will upshift a bit, and it's rather comfy, pretty quiet. You could daily this car pretty easily. The windows are double pane, so it's extra quiet in here. And I wouldn't mind dailying this car at all. Let's test out these Brembo brakes. And they're actually really good. Pretty solid brakes for a vehicle this size. What's interesting though is that the top speed on this Type S is 111 miles per hour, which is actually slower than the regular MDX for some reason. I'm not sure why it's capped at a lower speed, but you're probably not driving that fast anyways. The shifts are pretty smooth. It's actually a bit smoother than a ZF8 and a BMW. You can feel how clunky some ZFs are when you're slowing down, but 10 speed is actually pretty good. It's a very well insulated ride. It's premium. And up on this hairpin, let's throw it back in Sport Plus mode. Just give it some gas. Oh my god. It feels like a rear-wheel drive car. It just rotates the back out, but you're not gonna oversteer too much. The handling in this car actually rivals really closely with the X5, and I'd say definitely better than a Q7. The interior is nice. Everything about it just feels pretty solid. It definitely gives a lot of the German competitors a run for their money, and I definitely take this over the Infiniti QX60 any day. In terms of fuel economy, it's not really impressive though. You will get about 17 miles per gallon in the city and 21 miles per gallon on the highway for a combined average of 19 miles per gallon. For those that do care a lot about their fuel efficiency, I think the X5 40i is a better choice because that car would do a combined 25 miles per gallon, which is significantly better. You also get your Acura Watch system with a ton of safety features, including your collision mitigation braking system, your road departure mitigation, your adaptive cruise control with low speed follow and lane keep assist. It's a really good system. You can basically just not touch the wheel when you're on the freeway. Of course, you do get your blind spot monitors, your 360 camera, and your rear cross traffic alert. And there are many other things like your pedestrian detection and your traffic sign recognition, which picks up road signs and displays them on your heads-up display and your dashboard. I'm talking about all these cool safety systems, and we're going pretty quickly around these bends, and it just feels very confident inspiring. Like, you don't feel like you're gonna die, and you're taking these corners quite quickly. What's good about the very light steering though is making 3-point turns feels very easy. Oh, that's not drive. There you go. In a BMW, when you're making tight turns or you're maneuvering your car in a parking lot, it does feel a little bit hefty. The light steering, on the other hand, makes it feel quite easy. All right, let's put the transmission into sport mode by clicking this. Oh, immediate downshift. Okay, some cool twisties coming up here. This thing is fast. Brakes are good. Tire squeal, yep, the back just rotates. It feels like it's gonna kick out, but it won't. You just plant your foot down and the computer just figures it all out. Tight corner. Remember, keep your foot on the gas. And yeah, it just figures it all out for you. There's not really much of a learning curve to it. You kind of just let the car figure it all out, and it just does a really good job. Good job, Acura. I think if you want a sporty 3-row SUV, this has to be one of the best options. The X5 doesn't come in a 3-row configuration anymore. You do have to step up to the X7, and that can be quite expensive. The QX60 doesn't even come close to this. The CX90 is actually a really good option when you're comparing handling. It is almost as quick. It falls right in between the regular MDX and the Type S in terms of power and handling. But other than that car, I really don't know what else you would get that has this sort of capabilities and at this price point with 3 rows. Looking at the exterior on this MDX, this color is in Tiger Eye Pearl. It is gorgeous on this Type S. You do have a different front fascia from the regular MDX. It is just slightly different. Of course, everything is gloss black. You have real intake vents down here that actually go through the wheel well. You have your jewel eye LED headlights with automatic high beams. They're really nice and bright. They look really good. You do have your sculpted hood lines that run right across the hood as well. And of course, You do have the Acura iconic diamond grille, and it is open on the Type S. On the regular MDX, it would be closed. And your radar sensors are also housed in this massive Acura badge, 360 camera up here, and of course your parking sensors. On the side, you're supposed to get 21-inch wheels with the Type S. We are on the winter setup right now, so they are just 20 inches. Type S badge over here again. Black mirror caps here, of course your camera underneath. Of course, you do get the black trimming on the side as well, and of course this nice body line that runs right into the rear. Coming around to the rear, you do get these really nice taillights. It kind of looks like the Mazda CX-90 taillights, or like half the hook on the BMW X3. They're really nice. You do see like patterns that go right in them. Type S badge as well, and of course your quad tip exhaust pipes, and a mini diffuser, I guess, and of course your parking sensors, and just a couple more badges in the back. Oh my god, these massage seats. Oh, are we filming right now? All right, first of all, we do get your massage seats in the front driver and passenger seat, which is something that you don't typically find in an Acura, but it is available on the Type S. It does feel really good. You do get your lower back, your upper back, rejuvenation, your fusion. What else can we do? We have a Zen mode, and you do have your wave mode, and it feels really nice. Let's try Zen mode. Maybe I can meditate to this one. Am I clicking it? All right, whatever. Inside the MDX, you do get your Orchard quilted leather seats. They are perforated because they are heated and ventilated. They are, of course, massage. And just looking at the interior, it is really nice. You do get your stitching all over. You get ambient lighting and, of course, gloss black. Quite a bit of gloss black, actually, which is kind of easy to scratch. And it's kind of mixed with this wood that's also on the door, and also gloss black on the door. You do get your 3-seat memory system for the driver and the passenger side, and you do get your 25 speaker ELS Studio 3D surround speaker system. You get auto folding mirrors, your heads-up display control, which controls obviously the heads-up display. Of course, it is actually rather big. I think all Acura heads-up displays are really nice and clear. You get your really nice and clear digital cluster. Of course, you can see your G meter because it's Type S, your SH, all-wheel drive, tire pressure, and a few other things. And it does change based on the drive mode you're in. This is normal mode. This is sport mode. You got your big rev counter up top. It's pretty nice. Coming around to the infotainment screen, this is 12.3 inches. It is a very nice and clean UI. Of course, you get your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course, wirelessly as standard. It is pretty nice. You do get your cabin talk feature, which amplifies your voice to the rear seats and amplifies their voice to the front, so you can hear them more clearly. But what I do not like is this touchpad over here, which isn't the easiest system to control. I think they should just make it a touch screen, or at least make it like both, like what BMW would do, where you can touch the screen and also control it with a knob. It is a bit of a headache. Personally, I don't like the touchpad that much, but over time you get used to it. You do get your brake hold feature, your volume knob, your wireless charging, and a really cool pop-up USB port thing, USB-C and USB-A port. And you do get your typical Acura push button gear shifter over here, and this massive dynamic mode controller. Also coming to the stock, you do get your button for the 360 camera. It is an all-right camera. It's not like the clearest 360 camera that I've seen, but it'll get the job done. Coming to the rear of the MDX Type S, you do get a fairly wide opening. It doesn't open 90 degrees like the CR-V does, but it gets pretty close. Pretty low entry point, so you're getting in and out is easy. And there is quite a bit of space back here. Nothing really to complain about. The materials that are nice up front follow through to the back, except you don't get the gloss black plastic. You do get the matte finish instead. You do also have your sunshades, your ELS speakers back here, and of course you do get your 3-zone climate control. You do get your heated seats and a power outlet and a AC 115 volt outlet, and no USB-C ports back here right now, just your USB-A. The seat does also open up. Let's figure out how to do that. I'm guessing pull that, and then now you can see how many 7 people in the MDX Type S. You also don't get much of a transmission tunnel. It's completely flat back here, so anyone sitting here would be fairly comfy. All right, also you do get your panoramic sunroof back here, which feels pretty nice. You do get quite a bit of headroom too. Hopping into the third row, you can just press a button on the side or back here as well, and that will just move the seat forward. It's kind of a small entry point, but let's see if I can get through. All right, let's put the seat back. It's all right. Once you get situated back here and you put the second row to where it was before, decent amount up there, you don't really have that much legroom here. My knees are just pressed against the rear seat. You also don't have very much foot space. My feet are like unmovable because wedged in between there right now. Headroom, decent for someone under like 5'9". Pretty tight back here. I wouldn't sit back here for a road trip unless you're like a child, but it's manageable. All right, coming into the trunk, you do get a hands-free tailgate, so you don't have to do anything except use your feet. It opens up to 16 cubic feet of space in the third row. You don't get a spare tire, except you get more space back here, which is nice. Once you do fold the third row, you will get about 39 cubic feet of space, and if you do fold the second row, you get 71 cubic feet of space. You also get a little power outlet here and a little hook for your grocery bags, and there is an auto walk-away lock feature where you can just press it, and then if you have your hands full, you can carry your groceries. When you walk away, it will close. The MDX has long been one of the nimblest three-row SUVs on the market, and the Type S is a good upgrade for even better performance. Although it is short on a few things like how artificial the steering feels, a low top speed, and mediocre fuel economy, it is a great luxury SUV with just enough performance for most and pretty much all the comfort features that you'd want. The MDX is one of the few Acura models that has remained sporty relative to its competition over the years. It has less ground to make up than the TLX Type S does within the sports sedan segment. The MDX Type S has an appropriate mix of refinement and driving dynamics when measured against the BMW, Audi, and Genesis SUVs it's aiming for. And if luxury SUV customers can be persuaded to shell out more than $70,000 for an Acura, they'll find that the MDX Type S has the features, the power, and the luxury to live up to that price. Today we have this all-new Mazda CX-90 and we're putting it up against the good old Acura MDX. This is about 66,000 Canadian dollars, fully specced out in the signature trim, also known as Premium Plus in the US. And we're putting it up against the second from the lowest trim Acura MDX A-Spec. It's about $4,000 more than a CX-90. Let's see if it's worth it.